everybody. Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. Another preview, another match tomorrow, Wednesday. So we got to talk about that one. We got a big panel tonight. Gary Wynn, Tim, and D-Man back on the channel after a long hiatus of 2 weeks,
been a while.
probably.
It's been a while, yeah.
It hasn't been that while. It hasn't been that long, but it's been we've been missing you, man. It hasn't been that long, but it's been long enough, brother.
Long enough, man. Good to be back. Good to be
Of
back.
course, of course. A good show yesterday on the 90s Mag, so check it out.
Oh,
90s
yes.
Mag on YouTube, 90s Mags.
Yes,
So
sir.
check it out. Good stuff. And welcome, lads. How's it going? All good?
All good.
Always good after a win.
All right. So we got the preview. Good results today. To be fair, Chelsea's still playing, so that is the one result that I don't like. But with the majority, it's been positive. Well, Fulham is not. Them winning is not good either, is it? I mean, really.
No.
But the Aston Villa one, I mean, that's a pretty good one. And the Bournemouth, obviously, 2 losses. Can't have it all, but Bournemouth losing Aston Villa, those are big ones. And but Fulham pressing, so we're gonna have to. I mean, I can't say we're gonna have to win against at Anfield against Liverpool, but I mean, if we do, we're gonna be in a great position. Right now, 6 with Chelsea's victory. So actually, we can show the table real quick so people can know what we're talking about. If let's show the table right there, right now, ladies and gents. First, Liverpool, of course. Arsenal second. Forest third. Still tomorrow, Forest play against Arsenal. So that's gonna be. I don't know. I guess it depends on what you want in that instance, because do we want Arsenal to just get away? Or do we want Forest to, or maybe a draw would be enough to maintain everybody happy? What do you guys think on that match tomorrow? What would you guys prefer?
I need Forest to drop, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, any points lost now for Forest just means if we can get results, means that we get closer and closer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I
would agree.
Quite happy for us to win that one.
I'd take a draw.
Keep Arsenal in the pack.
Same reason for that, yeah. Keep Arsenal in the pack. I think they could drop without a striker. They could struggle, and we could capitalize. So
yeah,
I'm not bothered about Fulham. If you look at Fulham's next 5 league fixtures, they've got Man U in the cup on Sunday, and then they've got Brighton away, so somebody's dropping points there, and they've got Tottenham, local derby, and then they've got Arsenal away, Liverpool at home, Bournemouth away, and Chelsea at home. So they've got the next 5 of the next 6 games are in teams in that 3 to 8 position.
By the way, folks, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and become a member. We got a new tier in the membership, so check it out. Upgrade. I will make a video and show you how to upgrade. A lot of you have been asking me how to upgrade because it's kind of difficult especially on iPhone. I mean, you can't do it on iPhone. You got to go through PC or Android. And so I'll make a video and show you guys how to do it. More than likely, it's going to have to be through the PC. So there you go. It's a little bit difficult, but I'll show you guys. So become a member if you're new, though. Make sure you become a member of the NTTV Plus tier. That's at least gets you all the shows that we're going to be putting out. I think we added 4 more shows for members, so stay tuned for that. Hit the like button, though. That's free. Tim, which one? What would you prefer? Arsenal getting away, or I think you said Arsenal getting away, right? Let them go. You let them win.
I mean, don't get us wrong. I agree that Arsenal, with the lack of strikers, there's no way they're going to win the league, and they're not the best Arsenal side that we've ever seen. Granted, I definitely agree with that. I'm just thinking maybe they've got the experience to have a cool head and stay in there. So kind of battle it out with the rest of the teams that are there, Forest included, because there's so many teams already. It's tough enough, I'm just not sure if there's going to be another spot there for us. I think, I mean, don't get us wrong, a draw wouldn't be the worst result,
Yeah. The Bearded Toon fan says, love the show, up the tune. Botman, Joe Linton back tomorrow. We have a chance of Antonelli. I don't think Joe Linton's going to be back, and Botman neither. So, I mean, Eddie has kept that door open, but why risk? I mean, or would you guys risk? We're going to talk about the lineup in a minute, so no worries. Just giving a quick look at the table real quick. Man City play against, who do they play against?
Spurs. They're away to Spurs.
Ooh, well, I think they're going to give them a proper spanking. So
I think they'll lose that. I think City will lose that.
You think so?
Spurs are getting their players back, and they're on a
Players
good run.
back, yeah,
They're on a good run of form as well. So, and they always beat Man City, home or away. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're right in that sense. The Spurs do got their numbers.
They all Spurs
Most of the time.
won, like.
And so Newcastle 6, Bournemouth losing is a good thing. Brighton, what happened with Brighton there? Who did they play? Did they play somebody against
They
somebody?
beat Bournemouth. They beat Bournemouth.
Oh,
2-1.
they want to
beat
beat
Wolves,
Bournemouth. I knew they played against somebody. All right, so but Fulham winning 42, and they're at 42, and they won. Wow. Okay, then. Well, it's brutal. The table, ladies and gentlemen, it's brutal. So, that's what we're here. That's what we're here to do, to compete. Isn't that the phrase? We're here to
Right.
not to be famous, but to compete. What was that rubbish phrase? Somewhere around there.
We're not here.
We're
Be
not
popular.
here to be popular. We're here
So-
to compete.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so Liverpool. That's the matchup. We got to beat them. I'm echoing, by the way. I don't know who's doesn't have headphones, but I can hear myself. So, if you could fix that, if you can.
I can't hear you.
I'm fine. mate.
But all right then. So Liverpool. I mean, that's gonna be a tough one away, man. I mean, do we write it off? Do we go for it? Do we show all our cards?
Do a hell rated off.
Do we show all our cards? What do we do against Liverpool?
Well, it depends on obviously what Liverpool turn up, isn't it? I mean, you look at the team against Man City. They played Szoboszlai up front, up top, which doesn't say a lot for the likes of Nunes. We know what Liverpool have got in depth, as well as they can rotate players in different positions and they still get results. And I think the one thing we've said, whoever plays for Newcastle has to protect Lewis Hall. I think you give Salah one-on-one chance, and I think it's going to be a really hard night for Lewis Hall. So whatever he does and whatever system he plays, I think he needs to look at keeping Salah quiet. I don't know whether you saw Slot's presser. He was talking about Isak and how to keep Isak quiet, and his response was very good. We just keep the ball. If you haven't got the ball, you ain't got to worry about the opposition.
I
And
love
thought
that.
was quite
That's
a good
my type
response.
of. That's my type of football. Keep the ball. Don't give it away, man. You got to score with the ball.
Which is
Keep the ball.
precisely what I said about Salah. Stop him getting the ball.
Yeah, but can we do that? I don't know if we can do that. I'm
Can
not
they
sure.
do that for Isaac?
Of course they can.
Yeah,
of course they can.
Of course they can.
No,
of course
no,
they
no,
can.
don't get me wrong. Isak tends to score against Liverpool, so I expect him to score tomorrow. But will it be enough? Because they've got so much. They've got so much, depth in their squad. I think they're going to go with their strongest lineup because they haven't got the FA Cup at the weekend.
Yeah. They've got a
It's
rest,
got- and
haven't they?
Yeah, and it depends how we approach the game. Because if we approach it like we did against Man City, we're going to get smoked. So we have to go there like we believe we can win, and put the pressure on them and press them. But I don't know whether I think he might go very defensive again. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think. Oh, let me see. I think Gary, you're trying to show us something.
It was literally this is the side that they put out against Man City and come away with the results as expected at the back. I don't think that'll change much. You've obviously got potentially Trent's last season, so I'm sure he'll want to really go out there and play. McAllister and Gravenberch in that deep midfield play, and you've got Curtis Jones who played in the 10. And I'm sure between more McAllister and Curtis Jones, you'll have one go high, one come low. You know what you're going to get from Diaz, and again, you've got Gagpo on the bench who potentially could come on. And like I say, Szoboszlai played up top and scored. And that to me is, like I say, we were looking at signing Szoboszlai. I know, like there's a couple of shows ago, when we're saying I think we've dodged a bullet there regarding the signing of Szoboszlai. but his quality, the lad has got a lot of quality. But I just think the problem is with Zoboszlai, as a lot of midfield players, it's finding the correct position for them to get the best out of them. I don't think Zoboszlai is that deep playing midfielder like Klopp and Slot started. I think he's more of a 10, 8, 10 type of player. He likes to play in behind in the hollows. And he can give a lot. I mean, like I say, for me, he's a really good player. And the way he held the ball up against Manchester City to bring in other players, I thought he did tremendously well.
Yeah. So that could be the lineup. It could be the lineup. I mean, I was gonna have a Liverpool fan, but unfortunately he had an emergency, so couldn't join us. But let's go with the poll of what the people are saying is the predictions. So we kind of forgot about it. Put it quickly a couple hours ago. So 279 people voted for a Newcastle win, 40%, Liverpool win, other 40%, and the 20% left it goes for a draw. So to say the least, is rather pessimistic because these usually are well balanced towards our end. But let's take a look at some comments here because people have been saying some things. LEDC 5000 says, laughing, the results of this poll. I know we all love and adore our club, but some pragmatism is required. I don't see us getting much more than a point, but we'll likely lose. Liverpool at home, too strong. Trolls there saying 3-1 loss. Hope we give them a game though. And Lee says, when do we ever win against Liverpool? David Enko says, when do we ever turn up at Anfield? It's the most dreaded game of the season. Hope I'm wrong, but fear a battering coming our way. So, well, it's it is pessimistic the way fans are looking at it, but
I don't think we'll get
realistic.
battered. I don't think we'll get battered, but we never we don't win at Anfield. We don't win against Liverpool, full stop. So it's going to be, their tails are up. They know they've won the league. They just want to get it over and done with as soon as possible mathematically. They will be out for blood, I reckon. But I think we're good enough to make a contest of it. I think a point is the best thing we can hope for, to be honest. I mean, it's a complete shock if we actually come away with a win.
Yeah.
But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
I mean, listen. I think it depends on what team turns up. The team that because it depends. It depends. I mean, if we turn up like Man City, you better forget about it. Or if we turn up against, I don't even know if you can say Man United because Man United are rubbish. So, I mean, we beat a rubbish team in a stadium that we never win, but it's not the same teams. At the end of the day, it's about the teams you're facing. And unfortunately, or fortunately, Man United are not the Man United that they once were. So
we'd have to go like we did against Arsenal in the first leg of the League Cup.
that could be the one. That could be the one.
The thing is, there's the home game against Liverpool as well. How we played against them then. We played really well then, didn't we? We gave them a good game. It was 3-3.
We had the crowd behind us and we were up for it. I mean, this time.
Granted, yes. But I just mean purely in terms of the performance, the pressure we exerted and the physicality.
Yeah, true.
But we've got to try and block out the crowd and just try and be strong mentally. I mean, I'm not expecting anything, but if we're going to go there, we need to go there with that mentality and somehow combine being solid with being a threat. And at home against them, we did have that balance quite well. Like I say, I'm not actually expecting anything, but I think we've got to try and target Trent down that side as well with Gordon, with his pace, because as good as Liverpool are, he is a weakness defensively for them.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Let me see. I had a comment here. Davey was at Anfield when Marindinha scored the winner. Picked up loads of loose change. There was bodies all over. Well, that man. That's not good. Actually, this one is the one I was looking with. Stephen Field. I have hope. Forest won there. So Forest did win.
Yeah.
We kind of should emulate what Forest did.
They battled all over the park, and I think that is the mentality. You've got. We keep saying it. The biggest problem with us this season is we just don't know what Newcastle's going to turn up, and I think it's been as much as we've been really high in certain games, we've been really low in others, and I think that's where us as fans, going to Anfield for any team is a task in itself, but you've got to go literally man for man, and you've got to win your individual battles. And if you can do that and keep them quiet. Now, the one thing I've been to Anfield a few times, and the one thing I realise with Anfield, the crowd can go quiet quite quickly if it's not going their way. And I think if you can get your individual battles won, and that's across the park, and that's the 11, and that's what I said. These are the games where you can't afford to carry individuals. You can against certain teams, against the likes of Liverpool, who have got depth of squad, umpteen abilities. They will find your weakness, and that's why I said, for me, it's potentially going to be, again, the types of Tino Livramento will get aimed at, Lewis Hall will get aimed at and isolated. And that's why I said, for me, you've now got to start looking at getting the protection at our fullbacks.
I think if we're up for it, we can do something. Um, Also, you got to take in consideration. I mean, the stats are stats. I understand that. I'm not too much of a believer of the past playing any role. I think Liverpool, throughout their history, have had much better teams than us, much better players. So that just means they're going to beat us more times. During the National era, we were absolutely scum. So what's the point? Or even I mean, it is a stat, but I mean, nobody expected to win over there. They won Champions Leagues all throughout the early 2000s for us to be even want to compete over there. So, but now it's different because our players are. I mean, they won Isak. I mean, they would take Gordon. So it's a much different situation. Now, granted, the last in 4 years of the takeover, we delete the first season, but the second, third season, last season we competed. We competed. Remember Dubravka? He was blamed for a lot of goals, but he's the one that saved us. We scored as well. I mean, it's not like we don't score. I think it can happen.
What I read this morning, and I don't know how true it is the fact that Lewis Hall now is under their radar.
Yeah,
For a replacement of Robertson. He's the again this limelight that's shone this season, and for somebody like Liverpool who play that attacking style of football, he actually fits their style really well.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't surprise me, like I say, if a cheeky bid comes our way in summer.
Yeah. I mean, it could. It could. Hopefully not, but it could very much happen. Steve was saying that in the chat that Liverpool channels are saying they want us to they want to win, so it increases our chances of missing out on Champions League, so they can get Isak. Well, I mean, that's one of the things that we risk, obviously. But
Well, there's lots of ramifications, isn't there, for like I say, the big teams now. Everybody that plays against us, especially the teams all vying for Isak's signature, every game you play against them, the more points they take off us and leave us away from the Champions League, the more they can lick the cream off the top of the milk.
yeah, in the Premier League, we've only beaten them once at Anfield.
What, in the Premier League era?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
that
at
is
Anfield.
crazy.
Yeah.
We've only beaten them 11 times since '92. So,
Okay.
once at Anfield, long
I'll just say,
time ago.
like, away from that record, you're on about Liverpool getting our players. The thing is, some of these players, I think, need to show that they are top class, and if they're putting in performances like they did at second half against Forest, not Lewis Hall, but others, and I said this before, we've got to use that money wisely, and it's part of the game to sell, to trade, sell and buy. And if we're having topsy-turvy performances all season, and a bid comes in of 100 million, not Isak, but a few of the others, then there's life after these players, basically, is what I'm saying. And if we were top two, whatever, and you had Real Madrid coming in, you're going to be gutted then. But some of these players are turning it on and turning it off. So, I think if we get 100 million for Bruno, for example, it's up to us to use that money and replace him with one or two players who were just as good, if not even better, because Bruno needs to up his game to show he should be playing for a top 4 side. Because right now, that second half, he was not a top 4 player in that game. And if I was a top 4 manager, I'd be looking at that and I'd be thinking, I'm not sure about him. So these players need to actually prove it. And if they don't prove it, then we shouldn't be sulking too much if some of these clubs do come in and pay silly money, because we've got a chance then to go out and we can still attract some quality players and pick up gems out there with the scout network that we should have. So I think, it shouldn't be the be-all, end-all with some of these players, I think.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I've been very adamant that the same with Eddie Howe. If he's not up for it, if he can't take us to the next level, he might need to go. And if players the same way, if they're not made for big games, if they can't beat Liverpool, if they can't beat Man City, then or they're not up for it, then they need to go as well. Because what's the point? Because that means they're not players for big games. Because if they turn up against Man City like they did last, or Liverpool as they did against Man City, I mean, what's the point, man? What's the point of even?
It doesn't mean anything of the sort. All it means is that Liverpool and Man City have got more elite players than what we've got.
So if
The
Man
fact
City,
that Liverpool beat us does not mean that our players aren't good enough and therefore get rid of them. It simply means we need to buy more.
I think I don't think you're understanding the conversation here, because against Man City, players weren't even. It's like 11 mannequins standing on the pitch.
Yeah, agreed.
Do you understand that? So that's not playing bad. That's
That
not
is
even
playing bad.
not,
That's
no
exactly
that
what it is.
that is not even showing up to the game. That's what they did. There's a big difference. There's a big difference.
Well,
Can we all agree? Or am I?
What's the difference between playing bad and not showing up?
You can have bad games, but you can't have attitude problems. Gordon had attitude problems. Bruno the other day, I don't know what happened to him against the last match that we played at home.
Yeah, Forest
Forest. Well, he was non-existent. Not only the second half, but the whole game. Non-existent. The captain of your team, non-existent. You're okay with that? I'm not. So the two different opinions.
No,
Plain
I'm
and
not
simple.
okay. I'm not
Well,
okay
apparently
with
you
that.
are, 'cause
I'm not
that's
okay with that opinion.
No, Win, what I would say, Win, is I understand where you're coming from in terms of, yes, when you're playing against a top 4 side, they've got better players than us.
They've got more
Then-
better players than us.
More better players, yes. So, granted, the odds are you're going to lose more than you win against those sides, and it's harsh to judge our players on that basis. I totally get that. What I would say, though, is the Forest game, while they're top 4 at the moment, they're not one of the elite sides, generally speaking. So, and you've got Bruno second half, like you say, Chris, his head went, and it's not the first time. He was just, I'm sick, really, of him. His head going and diving to the ground, not playing the game, and just playing for the referee to help him out. That's
I
not an
agree
elite
with-
player.
I
An elite
agree with
player.
that as well.
And he's our captain as well.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Tim, because you're from Newcastle, so he will agree with you. D-Man, what were you saying?
Oh, get the American card out again.
go-
Come
go-
on, get
D-Man,
the
what
American card out.
I
were
was
you
just
saying,
saying,
D-Man?
I was saying, and he's the captain as well, so he needs to be leading by example. And
I said that as well. So.
he doesn't G up the players either. He's quick
Exactly.
to to cheer up try to cheer up the crowd and that. But your job is to cheer up the players when they're not performing and lead by example with your own performance.
Exactly.
And he's not been doing that. Too inconsistent, like Tim said. So I don't know. He needs a big performance tomorrow, I think.
Yeah,
He-
and I
Well,
thought
he's so inconsistent that in the Premier League, he's in the top 3 for tackles, for fouls, for creative moves.
The fouls
for
one,
carrying
the
ball- for
the
carrying
fouls
ball
one
forward,
is
for forward
ridiculous.
passes.
Because
He's in
all he
the-
does is dive
he's
on the
in-
floor
he's in
anyway.
the top 10 for all of those things.
Has he
and
been
he's-
consistent?
And he's in the top 3. Well,
Has his
that's over the full season.
Yeah, I'm asking, this season, has he been consistent over the season? Consistently
Well,
good.
those stats say yes, he has.
But from what you've seen, yeah, because we can pull stats from everywhere, but from what you've seen, had he been consistent? Furthermore, had he been one of our best performing players this season?
Yes,
What?
yes.
Oh my god!
Well, he's a good player. Obviously, he's a good player. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah, of course he is.
Well,
the stats tell you that. I know
over the whole season, who's performed better than Bruno?
Lewis Hall,
Right? Okay, I'll give you Lewis Hall.
Tonali,
I'll give you Tonali.
Isak.
I'll give you Isak.
Yeah, so that's top 3.
Even rubbish Dan Burn.
Yeah, Dan
Even
Burn.
Dan Burn.
He had a
The Raf,
nightmare second half last game, but I think I've been more annoyed at Bruno this season at times than I have with Dan Burn.
yeah, the Bravka.
Well, listen, I'll give you Dan Burn as well.
Of
The
course you will.
Bravka.
Well, that's 4.
Jacob Murphy.
Don't be.
That's
Don't
crazy.
Be
That's crazy, but you're right though. That's crazy,
No,
but you're
right.
right.
Let me just say something right on that point, right? Jacob Murphy, right, and he had a stinker for most of that first half, or most of the game against Forest, right? So, and just to compare this, right, with Bruno, right, he was having a mare. No doubt the crowd were on his back, and nothing was coming off for him, right? Jacob Murphy, he still had the ball to demand that ball and play it with freedom and creativity. And most of it didn't come off, but there were some times where it did come off. And to me, that is an underrated and undervalued trait that shouldn't go amiss, where someone's having a crap game, crowds in the back, and he's
Keeps
demanding the ball, and he's
Yep.
trying to make things happen, and he's showing that mindset and mentality and that heart, right? So I give a lot of credit to Murphy for that aspect, right?
So
And
would,
when
you,
I
would you
compare
go?
that-
Would you go in the market? But you get 100 million
listen,
for
Win,
Bruno. Would you go
I'm
to
not
the
about
market?
not on ability, when I'm not on ability, I'm on mindset, right? And all I'm saying is second half, I expect my captain to have that mindset and that mentality to not be relying on Ferreira to bail him out. I want him to back his ability, just like Murphy was backing his ability. And he hasn't got the same ability as Bruno. I know he hasn't, but he was still up for it. And he wasn't hiding. He wasn't diving to the ground and going missing. You know, and this all I'm saying is with Bruno, I want him to show more elite mentality in terms of combining his ability, because he has got the ability, but
And
with
so
that
do I.
mentality,
Hey, somebody get the fire stingers are out, man. Come on, man. Because Tim, man. Tim. I'm glad that and D-Man as well, man. I'm glad the Englishman said that, man. I'm glad you guys said it, man, because you guys are spot
Oh,
on,
get the American
spot
card
on.
out. Get the
By the way,
American card
you're being
out.
lucky. You're being lucky, D-Man, because you're from London, because they hate you too. But you know, so it's okay though. But man, you guys, man, spot on tonight. My goodness. So I'm glad you did all the talking for me, but you got calm down now, Tim. You ain't gotta go that hard, bro. Because he
Go on, I'll give you a Murphy even.
That's at least 6 players, then, isn't it? Better performance.
Right,
the starting
go on.
11.
So my question was,
That's 6.
no, but my question was is he in the top performers? No, he's not. If I can name 6 players better than him, performing better than him, then he's not in the top, is he? He's around the middle. Yeah, he's around the middle.
Yeah. You know, and I think that's the issue with, because we can't perform sometimes because
How
of
many
the
games has he been top
that a lot
performer?
that a lot of players.
Yeah, how many?
Plenty.
No, he
Yeah.
hasn't. No, he hasn't.
Yes,
Because every time Tonali's been on that pitch, he's been outperforming him.
Man, hey man, woo! Man, you
In your opinion?
Yeah, of course.
Come
Yeah,
on,
but it's
come on.
Come
Do
on.
you want to go game for game? Because we can go game for game. You know?
Don't do it, man. Don't do it, man.
Tonali's been fantastic for the past
Yeah, just leave it there.
probably
Leave it
10,
there.
11 games.
Oh, man.
We've played 25.
Hey, D, man, leave him alone, man. At some point, when he's not moving anymore, man, he's no pulse. Just leave him alone, man. There's no pulse there, man. All right, so Gary did the Liverpool lineup, which could be somewhere along these lines. I would assume. I think, if correct me if I'm not mistaken, you got Allison. You got
what's going on there? Did you see the fireworks on the screen? Then have you pressed something, Chris?
What's that?
He
I
did
ain't seen nothing.
before.
I didn't see
He
anything.
did, yeah.
So,
but he said
so
I
it.
saw
on
the
the
phone.
editor screen, or did you not hear those like fireworks going off in the background?
It must have
Got
just
him
been
on
on your
that
end. It must have just been on your end.
Oh,
at that
really?
time.
I don't know. Well, I
Yeah.
haven't got that type of special
No,
powers. I'm telling you.
No, well, actually, you do. You just gotta know where it's at, but it's okay. Allison at goal, Konate, Van Dijk. Whew, what a center back pair right there, man. Man, oh man, my oh my. Well, that's a center back pair. Simicas on the left side, Alexander Arnold on the right back position. Gravenberch, McAllister, really good midfield combo. Szoboszlai, Gakpo, Salah in up front. Luis Diaz up front. That's the lack of center backs that center forwards that Liverpool are having. But you know, Luis Diaz is still an option. But I think they would rather have a proper number 9 up there. That's why they want Isak so badly. So is that the lineup you had?
Apart from
Well, that wasn't
Tsimikas,
the. That
Yeah,
Robertson
wasn't
was, and you had
I think
Zoboslai up front and Diaz
I was
as
gonna
left
say,
wing
that's-
against
that-
Man City.
Okay, so he's
That's
gonna be left.
Salford scores one, isn't it?
No, this is Fat Mob. So so who's gonna be playing center forward for them then? Is that gonna
Well,
be?
like I said, Zoboslai played against. I think it'll be
Why is it
somebody
not-
like Diaz.
I think Diaz will be on the left.
Nunes. You know,
Oh,
that they'll go with. I would think at home they will go with a more out and out striker. Not saying that
well,
Nunes, you know,
Is
Nunes has
Jota?
done
Where's
anything for him.
Jota? Where's
Yeah,
Jota?
Jota might play.
Jota's back now, isn't he?
oh,
Yeah.
okay, so
And
So
so,
it'll be
Nunes-
Jota are down, won't it?
But
Yeah.
Nunes saves all these good games for us. Do you know what I mean? As a blinder
That's what I
against us
said.
every time.
He's
Nunes,
got- he-
Nunes
well,
won't
Nunez does
start.
perform.
He ain't starting. After the Slot's comments the game before,
I mean,
he's
yeah,
not
he-
starting. I don't think he'll start a key game again for them. I really
I don't know why I can't make changes on this thing. But well, we get the point. So, and by the way, somebody was hurt. That somebody said that Gapco. No,
was on
Steve
the
said
bench.
something else.
no.
Somebody.
Yeah, there's a
somebody
couple.
was hurt.
There's a couple out, isn't there?
Who did Steve said him? Let me see real quick if I can go back. McAllister out, Joe's in. McAllister is hurt. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I just
so,
saw that in the chat. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. So if that's right, then well, that's good for us because McAllister is a proper midfielder. But
Head
so
face
there-
injury, past fit.
Actually, let me see if I can do the injury thing here because
Conor Bradley
could
thigh injury, Joe Gomez thigh, and
Yeah, I knew about.
it would have
Conor
a
Bradley.
list.
McAllister head face injury, but I think he'll be available to train with us today, said Slot.
Yeah. Well, some insights for this game. Liverpool have scored 8 goals in their last 5 matches, have been awarded the most penalties this season with 7. It's interesting. Have kept the most clean sheets in competition with 11 clean sheets. Newcastle have scored 10 out of their last 5 appearances, more than Liverpool. Isak has the most shots on target per match with 1.5. And Bruno has created the most big chances at Newcastle United, 11. Look at that. So there you go. Those are some insights of this matchup right here. So that was the lineup for Liverpool. Our lineup, let's talk about it. Let's discuss it right here. All right. So very interesting to start off. Very interesting because what is Eddie going to do? I personally, from hearing him, I don't think Dubravka will start again. I think Pope will start, and to be honest, it looks. I'm not gonna lie, man. Let's call it for what it is. It looks like a dirty move. That what everything that's happened. It looks dirty as hell. I mean, let's be fair, because we wouldn't like to be done that way. We wouldn't. I mean, you get they make you not leave. If I'm a goalkeeper and I don't, I'm assuming that he's not going to start, by the way. But I'm just going off of what his words are, which he said that Pope is a great shot stopper, one of the best in the Premier League.
Yep.
And they're the best in the Premier League. And then he said we don't need that moving forward. Dubravka's not starting ever again. So
It looks like he's been used to get the signature, and then
until Pope got back, and I think that is a dirty move, man.
Crazy.
That's dirty. I mean, it is what it is, but man, don't even give. I mean, as soon as he signs the contract, not even give him 2 more matches or something.
Crazy.
Somebody send Dan Barron, give him an elbow, break his nose or something, and then he won't play. But nothing. Like it's. I think. But let's go one by one and get your opinion. Dubravka. It seems like he's not going to be starting anymore, and Pope.
Yeah.
well, I just hope his positioning is better against Liverpool than it was against Nottingham Forest.
Well, 100%.
His footwork, because the defence are going to be under pressure, and we know for a fact that they feel comfortable passing the ball back to Dubravka. They feel anything but comfortable passing
Exactly.
the ball back to Pope.
I actually think
Crazy.
this might be way off, but I think Eddie Howe holds grudges, yeah, because the way that Dubravka acted last season with the whole Man United saga and whatnot, I don't think Eddie Howe's forgotten it. I don't think he's forgotten it. Remember how we did what's his name? Ryan Fraser. Is it Fraser? Is that his name?
Yeah. Ryan Fraser. Yeah.
When he fell out of him in
Sounds-
Bournemouth and he came back, thought that everything was nice, whatever. Then as soon as he could, he shafted him. Not saying it was the wrong move, but he shafted him and they fell out again. So I don't think Hal forgets these things. I really don't. It
Well,
was a needs. It was a needs must at the time to keep
how's
Dubravka.
and if
But
you
to,
are right, it just adds to one of the things that are not good in the manager.
I mean, personally, it's a cynical view, isn't it? And don't get us wrong, I agree. Like, I wouldn't have dropped Dubravka. I just think that how it's more the opposite in that it's not, in my opinion, like grudges. It's more that he favours certain players, and
yeah.
he rates those players very
But why?
highly.
But why would you
I
beg him to
know
stay?
But it almost feels like.
because you've only got one keeper, and then
because
we've now got the two keepers.
But if things are going well, what is the point? Why get in an unnecessary issue?
Because
You know,
he thinks that the positives that Pope brings outweighs the positives that Dubravka brings.
and
Like,
what do you think?
I
The shot.
don't agree. I mean, for me, I think Pope is a good keeper, generally speaking, and I think if any side wanted to sign a keeper who didn't pay it out from the back and a Premier League side maybe outside the top six, I think he's your man. But no, honestly, like Dubravka,
Yeah.
I think there's faults with both of them. Dubravka, he isn't amazing either as well, in my opinion. And I do think he had a shocker last season. I know some people think differently, but he's came back this season, Dubravka, and he has surprised me when he got in because I was feeling the worst. I thought he letting a lot of cheap goals last season. His confidence looked rock bottom. He's came in this season. He's looked much better. He's looked confident. And there probably has been some goals here and there, but maybe he could have done better. Don't know about Man City. I'll have to look at it again. But so he's maybe not quite as good of a shot stopper. I mean, you look at the goal against Forest, that's a different story. But in general play, I think Pope's perhaps a shot stopper. But for me, I would have kept Dubravka in because we just had that calm mentality at the back. Like you say, we could go back to him, pass it back to him, and there was no issues there. There's no nervousness. We can just play it out. And he was making good saves as well. He made some worldy saves, didn't he? Against Wolves and some other teams. So
Yeah.
I just feel like he got himself into a good place where we still need a new keeper in the summer, but you could just see out the season with Dubravka. Unless he has some major ricks, then obviously, yes, you can bring Pope back in then, absolutely. But I think we were settled. And honestly, like the Forest game with Pope, you could sense the anxiety, couldn't you? And
you could
like, his
sense the
kicking was
panic.
terrible. It
Yeah,
was.
think
I was right behind him, mate, in the Gallagher for all but one of the Forest goals, and he was on his heels. Now, I've never ever known a keeper at this level not be on his toes, ready to actually go one way or the other. And then when you look at his positioning, and again, because I was right behind the goals, that the goal was scored at the other end, you could see his positioning, and he left 3/4 of his goal open. Now, I know there's lots of people in the chat saying, we've conceded 8 goals with Dubs in goal. Well, we've conceded 3 against Forest with Pope in goal. Your goalkeeper's only as good as the guys in front of you, and if you're not tight, and this is why I keep saying, if we go to Liverpool and play like we did in the second half against Nottingham Forest, it could be a bit of a hammering. Because it doesn't matter who you've got in goal, you're only going to save a percentage of shots.
I think Hal wants Pope ready for the cup final. I think because remember Pope missed the last one through suspension. I think he wants to have a run of games, get him into rhythm for the cup final. Because
I could understand that if it was, if it was like, well, we wouldn't be in the final then. But if we had a cup run going, if it was like a month ago or something. But to me, it's just too close. Like he's rusty. Pope's getting rusty, and he can play the next 3 or 4 games, but that's not enough. And if he's having ricks in those games and his confidence is going to be on the floor, I'm going to go into the final with a keeper who's nervous when he gets the ball, whose confidence isn't great. When you had a keeper there who, granted, was conceding goals in his last few games, but I just think he was settled, Dubravka, and you could have gone into Wembley, especially with that pitch and that atmosphere. you're really going to need your nerves in that game. And the players could just pass it back when they need to in that game, knowing that it's safe, whereas we're going to be passing it back to Pope at Wembley. And I can just imagine the jitters in a game like that. If Pope hasn't turned himself around by then, which I think is too short a time to do that.
But here's the thing. Here's the issue, man. I said this earlier on, that now, because the popular belief, I think most fans will say that Dubravka needs to start. If Pope makes a mistake with his feet that costs us a game, the consequences for him are not going to be good. I mean, the weight on his shoulders are not going to be good. I agree with you, Tim, that it's just too close to making moves that are still, I think, they're unnecessary. Now, Jordy Dan says in the chat, classic mind games from Howe that he expects Dubravka will play. Well, he's certainly playing mind games with Dubravka as well. By the way he come out in the press conference, unless he says, "Man, you're gonna play, no worries. I'm about to lie to these people out here." Perfect, that could be, but I don't see that, and we're not really discussing too much on the personal level, man. These are not robots, these are human beings that their mental game affects them on the pitch, and he didn't want to sign. Everything led to that he was leaving, and then the club convinces him to stay. You need him, you use him, you get him to sign a new contract, and then as soon as he signs, you don't start him. I mean, that will screw me up, man. And I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be too happy about that one in the locker room. I'll tell you that. I mean,
Now, you specifically asked in the press conference whether he'd had a conversation with Dubravka before Sunday's game, and he said, "Of course I have."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
I'd like to think Howe's being honest enough to him. But I don't think he'd be playing dark arts and stuff.
So he was. Everybody, can we all agree that he was leaving at the end of the season?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm telling,
he was going to leave in January.
January. Yeah.
Exactly. So if I'm telling the guy, stay, because I'm going to give you a new contract. You're going to be tied with us. You're going to miss out on all those millions in Saudi Arabia. And when Pope comes back, you're not going to play. I'm just using you for now until Pope gets back. You think he's going to sign that contract?
No, I think you would have said to him. I don't think you would have said to him, "You are going to play." I think you would have said to him, "You'll compete," which is, it's ambiguous. But I'd like to think he hasn't turned around. Sorry, Eddie Howe. He hasn't turned around and said, "You will be my man for the rest of the season."
That
I'll
just
guarantee
doesn't
that.
sound
And then
like
as soon as
Eddie
he
to me
signs
at
dotted
all.
line, he drops him. I think it's probably a bit more nuanced than that. I'd like to think. But I just think it's the wrong decision. However it's happened, I think it's the wrong decision.
Yeah.
And I think Dubravka's played those games in the Cups as well, so he's earned that spot, really. And he could have been walking out of Wembley kind of having that kind of motivation and pride that he's played a lot of those games, or the more recent games, the Emirates and Arsenal, the big games that got us there. I just think it's really harsh to drop him now.
Yeah. Well, we shall see what happens. But I think we can all agree that based on those words, this guy, I don't think any of us are feeling confident that he will start. Right? Or do you guys think that, like Jordy Den, that he is he's playing mind games?
No,
Pope start. Yeah, Pope will start.
I mean, it's hard to. I mean, like I say, we haven't got a clue what potentially could be the lineup, because, like I say, we've heard that J7 could materialise, Botman could materialise, he could go three at the back with wing backs and play, more of a narrow midfield and try and stop the press, if you like, and play like we did with Arsenal. Just let them play in front of us, just concede possession and then try and counter. That's always the potential. But for me, it's like I said, when you look at, I'm just having a quick look at our goalkeepers. So Nick Pope's had 16 appearances, 3 clean sheets, 56 saves, but he's conceded 24 goals. Dubravka, 10 appearances, 5 clean sheets, 29 saves, conceded 12 goals. And I think, you know, when you're conceding like just over a goal a game, um, then you've got a question. But like I said, this to me proves that the two of them, they've got faults, they've got issues. But is it them individually that's got the problem, or is it the people that are in front of them not supporting the cause? Because against certain games, we look really tight. We look as though we will never concede a goal, and yet you go to the opposition, and and again you go back to that mindset of what teams turning up, and anybody can score against us at times, and that has been a proven thing this season.
All right then. Well, so we got. We've been talking about the goalkeeper for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
So we got
exactly.
the whole team to do. Center backs. Well, Botman is not ready. I don't think. Well, he said that Botman might be ready, or Joe Linton. But do you guys expect him to play at all tomorrow?
I do, because he said he's very close. He said he's very close. So, to me, I think he comes in. I think he does come in, but I think he plays a back five.
Yeah, I try.
Oh,
I think he'll go with a back five.
nice. Who else I think he goes with the back five?
I haven't seen his press conference, but I think he normally
You don't watch
you
this,
can
man?
read,
Come on, man.
you normally can read between the lines sometimes anyway when he says these things. And if he said Botman's very close, then I know what you mean, D-man. Do you know what I mean? You kind of think, well, he's
Yeah,
maybe saying there that he's going to be in. But so I would agree with that, and I'd probably agree with the back five. Like I wouldn't be surprised
Okay.
at all if he does
So
that.
that's the majority then. So let's put Burn in. Well, hold on. Who would you guys put in the middle?
I'd
Shea,
put Botman in the middle.
and then you got Burn on the other side,
yeah,
and then Fabian Shea right here. So
Because you'll have your two markers and
so
the sweeper, if you like.
so basically, this is a trial for the final.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as we know that, and Arne slot as well. Um, and midfield, do you guys? I mean, Lewis Hall and well, actually, Lewis Hall's good. Trippier or Livramento?
Tino. I think Trippier plays in the cup.
Oh. Well,
Do
when do
you
you
not
want to
think
try?
he'll need to build up a games though,
He's gonna have to.
D?
Say that again, sorry.
Do you not think he'll need a build up of games though? Because, like I said, I think the biggest problem, again, without playing on a regular basis and getting that momentum, you can be vulnerable to certain positions. And you know, we all knew he was never going to be a great right centre back.
Yeah,
And I think you know he's took one for the team because of how Eddie Howe set up for that game against Man
yeah.
City.
He
There
actually
was
might.
two.
You might be right. He might be in there. I'm thinking of his performances against Arsenal in the second leg. I think,
And his shithousery was superb
yeah,
because he really got under their skin, didn't he?
yeah, and the experience that he has as well. You know what? Yeah, I think yeah, maybe he starts then. Yeah,
And he starts for me every time.
I rather have Trippier. I like Trippier a lot now. I thought he was gone, but I think I'll be honest with you. I don't think there's a cigarette paper between him and Livramento.
It's
Matter of,
difficult.
matter of fact, I think the experience, makes me go with Trippier every time.
Tino's
He was
got
in
the
Lens.
legs, hasn't he? That's all. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But when you come to the mindset, Trippier does give you something different. But
yeah.
like I say, he's just been again that inconsistency. Some games you look so hot, you think you know you can't take him out the side. Then there's other games that you look at him and you think, my God, his legs have gone, his head's gone. He's not involved in the game. He's making silly mistakes. He's out of position. There's a number of question marks over Trippier, and I think that's been over a number of players this season.
Yeah.
Aye.
Jordan and Trippier was pants against Arsenal. Like, what?
huh?
He was one of the best players on the pitch, man.
He was my man of the match.
I mean, come on. But
I think
okay.
it might be worth just saying to him, look, he is the shirt up to Wembley. give him a run. And he was immense for me against Arsenal. And then Man City, I know he was out of position, right? But it was just like, for that goal, to me, I know he's not a centre-back, but he's a defender. And
Yeah.
when that ball's coming over, his defensive instincts should have been better for that
Oh,
play.
absolutely.
Well,
He
he
said,
thought he
Joe-
could get the ball. It was pure and simple.
It
He thought
was a
going to get
misjudgment.
it.
All right. So, like,
okay.
with that, I'm like, you were amazing against Arsenal, and you've made a rick there. And I know it was the rest of the game was out of position, so it's hard to judge that. But it was kind of like, for me, I was all set for Trippier being the man. But then it's like, oh, well, actually, is he the man after that? But I think, like you say, there's kind of pros and cons with both Trippier
With both
and
of them.
Tino. So
You
I
see,
think
for
just
me, if you're
that one-
going three at the back, I'd want legs. I'd want to I'd want to go. I'd want to move them as far up the field as I possibly could. And the only way you're going to do that is by having runners. And Tino gives you the run. He hasn't always got the head on the shoulders at times, and he gets caught out positionally as well. But for
Well,
me, with three at the back, I would always want runners.
Well, that's also a good point. Jordy said that it was after Arsenal. So yeah, you're right then. You're all right after the bad game. But I mean, you do have a point, because if you already got three center backs, then you could send the wings up. But I mean,
Well, especially Eddie, if he plays 5-4-1, which he's done on a regular basis against Man City last at home, he played this 5-4-1 system, or 4-5-1 that dropped into a 5-4-1, where he tries that mid to low block. I think that will nullify whatever you try and do anyway, because every time you lose, you get rid of the ball straight back at you, as we saw against Man City. And that's what I said. It depends on how Eddie Howe sets up. For me, I'd love to see a 4-3-2 or a 4-3-1-1 with Gordon just sitting in the 10, just playing the channels, and just get them balls into the areas where we can start to turn them. Because once you've got a slow defence, as Liverpool have, if you start getting them stepping back, it opens up that midfield a little bit more for you to start playing your passes. Too many times this season, what we've seen is us trying to play football in a very congested centre circle, and we've given the ball away far too many times.
so midfield. Oh wait, so what did they come up with? Trippier or Livramento? So one Trippier.
Tino
Gary?
for me. Tino for me.
Trips for me.
And Tim said Trips.
Chips, yeah.
Okay, well then Trips. That's it. Midfield. We got.
Number 5, it's 2, isn't it? Tonali and Bruno.
And then so does Joe Linton play if he's close to being ready? I mean, if we're gonna do that with Botman, then
Oh,
because he said the same thing about Botman.
If
about
J7's
Joelinton.
fit, he plays.
I don't think he starts the one Joe Linton because
No, I don't think so either.
he's had a few weeks out now, and I don't think they want to risk it. I think.
But you want to raise Botman?
But Botman, I don't know. Botman seemed to come back from the ACL quite well, and he's I think I'm just going to the house that he's very close. He said Joe Linton's close, but not as close as Botman. So to me, that suggests that Botman will start. Joe Linton might be on the bench, but I don't think he'll be risked for this one. I think if you're going to play 5 at the back, I think Tonali and Bruno in the midfield is enough.
Okay. So what everybody else think? No. Well, I think Gary said no Joe Linton if he's no Joe Linton this match. Tim, what do you think?
But would you play him anyway? If you've got Tonali and Bruno, then you've got the three.
Well, Willock. I mean, you play with Willock.
It's like
That's too many on the pitch, isn't it?
so. So like if you got Tino, you got Tonali and Bruno in the middle, and then you got 3 up front. Where would J7 come in anyway? Maybe. I mean, I suppose you could say in place of Murphy. But,
Oh yeah, we got 12 players, don't we?
Yeah. You've got a penalty to Liverpool.
Oh
up.
In a minute, we're gonna. Yeah. That's well. I mean, in this situation, we're gonna have to take Willock off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. We got 12 players, man. What the hell? So what? But how did we? Oh, Joe Linton was suspended, wasn't he, against Arsenal? Well, that is a decision right there that we're gonna have to make. Wow. If we're gonna do this against in the cup final, do you really take Joe Linton out? I mean, because don't you need that kind of body?
The cup final, I think he goes 4-3-3 in the cup final.
And
I don't think this is a dress rehearsal for the
No. Okay.
final.
All right.
He'll be going to Anfield trying to get what he can, won't he? You know, any
Yeah.
result there, even if it's a draw, it will be classed as a positive result.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Then, so yeah, front Gordon, Isak, Murphy. I think that's pretty much set in stone at the moment.
See,
So
I'd drop Murphy, and I'd play three in the middle. I would. I'd have Miley. I'd have me two sitters, Miley just in front to play the ball because he's a good passer of the ball. Yeah, he isn't strong, but I wouldn't have Murphy. Like I say, I would have legs up top. Again, it's whether he wants to protect the fullbacks because we all know Anthony Gordon and Murphy do like to come and sit deep on the fullbacks and support.
Let me see. Where is Lewis Miley? So I wonder how this would work here. I think that might be what you're saying, but
take him out.
I want to put it. I want to put it where I kind of want him. I wonder how this would work, right there. Kind of Gordon being, just free.
Just free, yeah.
And Isak obviously push it in, but I wonder how that would work, man. That's probably what you said, isn't it? I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, obviously we know Bruno would probably play left-sided because for some unknown reason, even though Miley plays there for the under-21s England squad, playing in that inside left 10 channel and does reasonably well. Eddie Howe doesn't seem to like Miley over on that left-hand side. He prefers to move Bruno over there. And I think, as we witnessed again on against Forest on Sunday, sometimes Bruno just disappears, and I think even on that left-hand channel, even though he should be really strong because he's coming onto his strongest foot from that left-hand side, more central, we should be getting more contributions from goals from Bruno,
or you can just
played in that position.
You can just put them, side by side. I mean, Isak can definitely be free as well as Gordon. So.
Oh yeah. That's why I said I'd have played that 4-3-1-1 because then you're picking up those little pockets of space, and
interesting.
You are then trying to get Liverpool to either move one of their centre halves in deep to come and cover the number 10 slot, or you're having to pull one of your midfielders out, which opens up more space for the passing channels.
Brent says, I think you're putting Gordon and Isak on too much of an island with three in the midfield.
The thing is with that, though, is that I think with wing backs, you want to have overlaps that you mean.
All right.
And what Gordon could do is when we've got the ball, wherever it is, whether it's Lewis Hall or Trippier, that's where Gordon goes to offer that overlap that wouldn't be there otherwise. With wing backs, that's what I'd be thinking.
Well,
the only problem with that is if you take him away from the left-hand side, you've got nobody to go back and give cover for Lewis Hall.
Well, you got Dan Burn.
Yeah.
You've got your three, haven't you?
Miley or Bruno.
Three of these. And by the way, Tonali.
Yeah, because he covers a hell of a lot of ground.
He goes here. Tonali can get in the middle. That's why Tonali is.
He's going to be key.
People don't understand about Tonali, man.
He could just sit. He could sit and just screen.
Some people idolize Burn and Longstaff, but Tonali, man.
He's the guy, man.
Man, I swear to God, we did highway robbery, man.
You see, for me, when you look at what you've got on the screen there, you've got such a variation, such a fluid system. Like I say, you've got movers up top, you've got footballers that can play through the middle, you've got somebody who's going to get stuck in, you've got cover at the back, and you've got youth down the wings with your fullbacks. I'm not gonna
lie. I think I like this pretty good, man, because you were very much guarded back here, and you got Tonali in case we need some. And look, if we step to defend. Other than Bruno, and Lewis Miley, maybe I don't know how much of a good defender he is, but you got pretty good defense back there. So I think it could be interesting. We'll see what Gordon does. Eddie Howe does tomorrow. He might surprise us. He might not.
It doesn't matter what formation you put out tomorrow, unless they are all up for it and on the ball, attacking the ball. Full of energy from the off, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, well, I thought everything was amazing, so I don't know.
Well, like first half was like
everything wasn't amazing against Man City, and that's because they were all a pack of lazy bastards.
Yeah, we need to replicate the first half against
Forest.
I thought
they were just elite players. I thought City were just elite players, better than us. But anyway,
Well, no,
so
they've got more
let's
better
do
players than we have, yeah.
let's do play by player
You're right,
then.
as usual.
Let's do play by player then. Pope versus who was guy over there? Is that no Allison back?
Allison, come on, there's no competition. There's no competition.
We ain't gonna type it in. We're not even gonna type it in. Why we got
Is
West
the-
Ham? Okay, go on, man. That's fine. You better kill Pope if you want to, man.
Yeah,
I'm
come
gonna go
on.
to the next guy. I don't think there might be a comparison either on this one. Well, I mean, do you guys vote for Pope? I'm sure Win will. So anybody else?
Not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we're gonna go with Ibrahima Konate and Mister. Well, it depends though, because this is kind of weird because we went with a back with 3 center backs. So, I mean, Konate is better than Shar, better than Byrne, and you can discuss Botman, but Konate is just have done more in his life than
Konate. Yeah,
Konate ain't even close, man. So I don't even want to
close with Botman, but not
You're
down
harsh
with
with
you.
Burn. Harsh with Burn, Chris.
you know,
I'll take
Not
that.
is the better player, but Burn, given
Burn
his
what?
dues, he's been very good this season.
He
well,
has. He has.
yeah, that's fine, but we compare him
But
against Konate.
Konate's
Konate, yeah.
better.
I'm
Konate's
comparing
better,
him against Canate, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
he's
I'll
not better than
I'll
Konate.
I'll take Burton, thank you very much.
Yeah, okay,
Huh?
man. But I mean, yeah. Listen, we can't have a conversation like that. So you don't ignore him, bro. Just a little crazy guy that just keeps saying the same thing over and over. Van Dijk versus all of our center backs.
Van Dijk.
Come on, man. It's not even.
It's not close. It's not close.
It's not close, man.
With any of them. With any
Well,
of
that's
them.
call it for what it
not
is.
that yeah, for a change, you're right. That isn't close. Van Dijk is better than anybody else.
Alexander Arnold or Trippier and Livramento or Trippier. Actually, we chose him. I'll take the Arnold's. Real Madrid wants Arnold. So I mean,
Well, right back. Are they going to play him right back?
Yeah, they will.
yeah.
He'll
that's
just
what
drop
he is.
deep. He'll drop into the midfield, but he'll start at right back.
Yeah. And then you got Robert. But I think we're going to beat Robertson, though.
Yeah, Hall.
yes.
Lewis Hall, no doubt.
It's all day.
No
Lewis
doubt.
Hall all day.
So that's that one. And then you got midfield. So we got 2 midfielders as well. So
You have
well, it
to
depends on
compare
how they
Tonali-
look at me.
Well, we've got to
Tonali
put
with
Share up
Gravenberch.
against somebody.
Oh well, we can't because
Well, you can put Shea against the midfield because Shea's going to be the one that's going to push into midfield if you do
Push
it,
in,
isn't
yeah.
he?
well, who
Yeah.
Gravenberch?
Well, you put Tonali against
No.
Gravenberch and Tonali wins anyway. But
Well, Tonali is better than McAllister as well. So I mean, either way.
yeah, but you put Bruno against McAllister because they're the similar kind of player, isn't it?
Well, that's McAllister is a better player. I mean, let's be fair. I mean, yeah, man, McAllister, man.
I'm not.
Shut up, man.
I'm not so sure. They're both good. They're both quality.
I'm going to say
But-
there's a cigarette paper between the two of them.
Yeah,
They both
like
they both
McAllister.
show up at times and they both don't show up at times.
exactly.
One is
It's a
World
hard
Cup
one, that
winner,
one,
but-
to be fair, if you throw in Bruno and McAllister.
But
Okay,
Fabian
I-
Schär, man,
Oh, well, Fabian Schär. I mean,
he doesn't. It just doesn't fit. I mean, you can't.
Who's
you
the
don't have
third
to play-
midfielder for Liverpool? Who's the third midfielder?
well,
Yeah, but
Szoboszlai.
you got Szoboszlai, man. You
it
can't.
was, it was
Well, he-
Curtis who played in the.
You're gonna have to
slot.
put him against Gravenberch because he's like the more defensive.
Yeah, he is.
But Tonali plays that Gravenberch role. They played.
I know that, but I mean, I know
put
that, but-
Shea against the other one. Whoever it is, Szoboszlai, whoever
That's
it is.
McAllister.
exactly. McAllister, Szoboszlai.
Well, no, we've got Bruno,
Bruno.
against McAllister.
McAllister, yeah,
Tonali against Gravenberch.
yeah.
So we're looking for somebody against Szoboszlai, even though we're saying Szoboszlai is going to play up front.
Just came against Szoboszlai then.
Who? Sure.
Well,
Come
it's
on,
not
man.
fair whichever you do it because we're playing extra
because you haven't
defender.
Well, look, Shore's gonna lose anyway. So that's
Exactly,
it's
exactly.
whatever.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Shore is gonna lose the battle anyway. So he lost.
So Tonali wins his,
Oh, no doubt, man. Tonali, they would kill for Tonali this team, man.
right? So it says Bruno and McAllister, which I think is much of a muchness.
Well,
It's close,
right?
but I mean, I'm gonna go for the World Cup winner. So McAllister, it just there are levels to this, man.
He played with Messi. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
he
the
played.
team did something.
He's playing with
That's
Longstaff.
a
and
look. Ooh.
The Geordie Messi.
Hey, that's right, man. So okay, so we got Curtis Jones, and but that could be. Well, I mean, Curtis
Miley
Jones.
and Jones.
Yeah, well, all right. I mean Jones. You got to say Jones. I mean, it's
yeah, Jones.
unfortunately, Miley hasn't against Curtis Jones.
Jones against who?
Miley.
Miley.
I mean, unfortunately, Miley's
yeah,
going to
you've
lose
got
every
to go.
time because I mean, we're talking
Just
about
experience.
Purely for
It's just-
experience.
it's just-
By the way,
experience.
Chris, McAllister's got 2 goals and 3 assists in the Premier League. Yeah, Bruno's done a lot more than that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can say that Liverpool doesn't depend on Bruno as much. I mean, sorry, McAllister as much as Newcastle depends on Bruno. Although I mean, if you look at it that way, Newcastle depends 99% on Tonali, and he hasn't scored. He only scored 1 goal, 1 in the cup. So
Liverpool depend on Salah. We just have on
Mohamed Salah, which we're gonna get to that, man. Hey, Murphy and Salah.
Murphy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, Murphy is 23, man. Michael Jordan of the sport. Luis Diaz. Who do we put Luis Diaz with? I mean, it's kind of unfair because Liverpool really got positions
Well,
that
it's
are.
Anthony Gordon, isn't it? Left wing.
So Szoboszlai is going to be a 9 then.
No, we've got Szoboszlai in the midfield.
Yeah, I think
So
the ball
what-
in the midfield. I think you put Jota up front.
Yeah, you're gonna have Jota.
I don't think Jones plays. I think Szoboszlai plays instead of Jones.
So we put
Yeah.
Miley against Jones then. So that's the but I mean, look. So okay, Luis Diaz versus Gordon. I tell you what, man. I'm not gonna front. Luis Diaz is top quality, man.
They've both been up and down this whole season. They've both been
Yeah.
inconsistent.
Well, one Barcelona wants Luis Diaz and Gordon signed a new contract with us. So you
But,
know you
but
can,
Liverpool wanted Gordon. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true as well. That's
25
true. as well.
appearances, 6 goals, 5 assists, 53 shots.
I like Gordon. But Luis Diaz, I'll take him as well.
You know what? I do like Diaz, but the one thing that
love
I
Diaz.
find with Diaz is the fact that he's only a forward-thinking player.
Yeah.
What you get with Gordon is you do get that recovery
Defensive, yeah.
and that support at the back line. So I'd go with Gordon as a team player.
I would go with Gordon.
And me.
I'd
All
probably
right.
say Diaz. I think Gordon needs to. He hasn't got the same technicality. I would say.
No, he
I know what
hasn't.
you
He
mean about the work
And
rate.
I have never seen, and this is we pick positives, we pick negatives. I never seen Luis Diaz mentally get affected by having a bad game or the team having a bad game. You're gonna get in the ball and he's gonna run. Give him the ball, he's gonna run. Gordon, he gets upset. You know, I mean, he grabs his ball and wants to leave. This is my ball when the team is not performing. So that's also one of the things that give it we can look at. But I mean, yep.
I agree. I think Gordon and Bruno are similar to me in that they are rated as 2 of our gems amongst others. And for me, those 2 players need to up their game and be more consistent in terms of their play, but also their mindset. And I think Gordon, like I say, he hasn't got the same technicality, and he's more of a raw player where you're going to get that burst of speed, that burst of energy, that burst of play, whatever it is, as opposed to carefully crafted play. And he needs to improve the technical side. I mean, obviously, he's a good player and he can
Really
create
good
stuff, but I think Diaz I'd rather.
I actually think
Diaz
that
is just busy, isn't he? That's the thing.
he is.
He's always a bit-
But the Liverpool fans are frustrated with Diaz as well. When he's not having a good game, he's his head down, his decision making's poor, he's erratic with his finishing. But I actually think that Gakpo's going to play tomorrow instead of Diaz on the left.
Well, that we see they got multiple options. That's the and you got on the right, Salah and Murphy. Yeah. So
Every time.
every time,
Murphy
man.
for me.
Murphy the beer. I like that. Yeah,
There's
man,
no
it's
point
not-
in a striker. There's
It's
no
not
point.
even fair.
No.
It ain't even fair, man. It ain't even fair, man. So did we say Szoboszlai? Oh no, you said Jota. I mean,
Jota's probably gonna play.
nobody's better than Isak. So in that sense, Isak wins every time. So I mean, pretty divided team, but I think they got us beat on most positions.
Yeah.
Especially in defense. That's kind of. And it's not a coincidence, by the way, man, that we allow goals so easily that our defense against most teams don't win. Top teams, I'm talking about, because our midfield we always win basically, or at least compete. And our center forward is the best in the league. Our left wing usually competes with Luis Diaz, with the best wingers out there. Our right winger, that's the issue. But it's the defense really that fails, other than Lewis Hall, most of the time. Against,
it's because Botman hasn't been there most of the time as well. Because
right, well, that could be.
But yeah, the defense at the moment is a bit shoddy, and keeper.
Yeah. But some fans say everything is great. So anyway, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, top players who played for Newcastle and Liverpool. So let us know in the chat. Remember, we got a lot actually.
Yeah, a few, isn't there?
Keegan,
I can Kevin.
Oh, that was that's
Peter
King Kev.
Beardsley.
Peter
yeah.
Beardsley. It hurt me when this happened. By the way, it hurt me to my core when we lost with Naldum. It just made no sense to me. After
John Barnes, Ian Rush,
Michael Owen.
Ian Rush. Michael Owen.
Oh, Michael, the infamous Michael Owen.
We don't mention him. Yeah.
Moses, our first ever black player.
There you go. But Michael Owen, man, he's probably one of the best skilled center forwards we've ever had. Not like that to us, but as far as world known name, he was.
I remember when we signed him.
27 goals in 54 games.
He's good. He's
good
pretty
record.
good.
When we signed him, I thought we've got Shearer's replacement sorted, because Shearer was going into his last season. It was like
Jordan, you're right, because he says Andy Carroll. When we saw Andy Carroll, I said I'm done with this club, because all we do is sell players, man. All we do is sell players. And that was the biggest kick in the nut in the history, in my opinion.
What about Carrier?
Because I'm like, we birth one every 1,000 years, and then we sell them to Liverpool. They just came in like nothing. Boom, bang.
Yeah, but we got the better end of the deal, because they signed.
They pay us a lot of money though,
and he flopped. So,
35 million. Even I wouldn't have turned that down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean,
Andy Carroll. Like, I would have loved to have seen what he would have became if he'd carried on with us. Because for that year, I don't know if it was a purple patch or whatever, but he was absolutely immense.
Exactly.
At that time.
There's Dietmar Hamann.
Another one.
Yeah, Enrique.
Jose Enrique, that's my boy. Well, actually, not my boy anymore, because last year, see, I had an affinity for Spanish-speaking players at Newcastle, so I really liked them. Colachini, Gutierrez, and Jose Enrique. We had a few, but I really liked. I think he was a really good player for us. But then last year, I think he came out and said some BS about us that I didn't like.
He was fantastic, Enrique. Enrique and Gutierrez on that left wing together. Fantastic.
Loris Karius.
But you got to go back, of course, when they were buying all our best players. Terry McDermott, the boat, went on to win a European Cup. Alan Kennedy went on to win a European Cup. Peter Beardsley, of course.
Karius.
Yeah, I said Karius.
Came the other way.
Yeah, well, we sold them Andy Carroll. They sold us Karius. Yeah.
They say Gary Bellamy. Bellamy was brilliant. For us.
Barry Venison was another one, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got him from.
Did you guys say Mike Cooper? I don't remember him.
Cooper.
Oh, that's 98. Of course.
We didn't sign him from Liverpool though. He might have played for both, but we didn't.
Denny Guthrie. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, Guthrie.
He was all right.
How many games did he play? I don't remember him.
Oh, he played the good.
What? You're forgetting one already. John Joe Shelby.
Couple of years.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
John Joe Shelby played for Liverpool, man. John Joe Shelby, man, he gets around. He gets around, man. Who else we got? Oh my, I like him as well. Spanish speaking.
Albert Stubbins back in the 40s scored boatloads for both.
Oh no, Javier Manquillo, man. Spanish
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah.
I love me some Spanish speaking.
He played for
team
Liverpool.
player.
Yeah.
Did he?
I believe. I don't know if it was after. Let me see.
Wow.
No, he definitely played for Liverpool.
Sunderland after
Went-
Liverpool.
Oh,
I
that
think,
was
didn't he?
before. That was no, because he
Yeah.
just left us. Yeah, he just left us.
Went to Sunderland.
Okay.
he
James
played for
Milner,
Liv-
man. Nobody said him. He played
Milner.
1,000
Yeah.
matches for us and them. Ian Rush. That's way before my
Yeah,
time.
we said Ian Rush. Yeah.
Russian Barnes.
Russian Barnes. Yeah.
But with Naldum, that killed me, man.
That
Killed me, man.
was when Douglas was signing the Liverpool
Dad's Army.
pensioners.
The Dad's
Yeah.
Army, yeah. The has-beens.
Oh man, we've
It
suffered.
ain't right. I was never so upset. Andy Carroll, I was upset, but with Naldum, I thought, because I think we signed him after the World Cup, didn't we? They had a good. What World Cup did Holland make or Netherlands made it deep?
20.
Because we signed them in 2014.
Yeah. After that, they won.
I think it was after that World Cup. Then.
2010 was when Spain beat Holland.
No, man, no. I just think he's too young for that.
Yeah. Was it?
I think when did we have a World Cup? 2010, 2014. Then so the next year I think we signed him.
him in 2015, didn't we?
And then he only was there. He was only here for like a year, man. And I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
we are just rubbish, man.
Yeah.
We are rubbish, man. We got rid of all our best players, man. And Wynn was happy about that. He liked that. But yeah, it was the dark days, man. But anyways, so a lot of players. We shared a lot of players with Liverpool. I think that's the top club that we. I don't know what other club we share. I think Arsenal a few. Well, Tottenham.
Yeah, I think-
Tottenham. I think we have a lot with Tottenham. But
I
anyways,
think having the links to ex-Liverpool players as managers and coaches, I think that's the reasons why we've had such a relationship of players between the two clubs. If I'm honest.
yeah. Well, last but not least, predictions. What is you guys' predictions for tomorrow's match?
Well, I'm going a 2-1 win for the Toon.
2-1.
I'm being
I think I
totally
saw that.
optimistic.
I changed my prediction twice already because I saw that and I thought, man, I think I might change mine because I said 3-1 Liverpool, and then I changed it to us 2-1. But I don't even see that, man. I'm just saying,
No,
just to say it.
Yeah, look, I'm going with my heart, not my head.
Yeah, I don't even. Quite honestly, I don't even see it scoring, man. Maybe one goal, but I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's just, history. I mean, for some reason it repeats itself. But like I said, we got better players now, than we ever did before. So I guess it's time to
Time to step up.
to see what these players are made of. Definitely, I think that's the biggest assessment out of tomorrow's game, because if they turn up like Man City, I don't know what to say anymore. But if they turn up like again we did Arsenal and then we lose, then it is what it is. So, all right then. Well, that is that, ladies and gentlemen.
3-2,
Actually,
by
what's
the
your
way.
prediction? 3-2.
3-2 Liverpool.
2. You got to score 2 goals.
Us scoring 2 goals, yeah. Yeah. Liverpool ain't got a great defense.
We scored 3 against.
Ain't got a
Norwich.
great defense, man. We just picked all their defenders.
Doesn't mean they're great. They're just better than us.
Oh, damn! That was a shot. That was a shot. Tim, what was your score?
Say 2-2. I'll be optimistic.
2-2. Well, hopefully you guys are right. It's Kieran Wood saying 7-1 to the Toon.
And
Ursula.
I'm agreeing with Gaz. 1-0 to the Toon.
Well, that's not what he said though.
That's exactly what I said.
But Gary said 2-1. Newcastle.
Yeah, Toon are going to win.
So just before we go, just so you guys know, for goals, for assists, and for passes, Liverpool are top in the Premier League. Obviously, Mo Salah has the most goals, the most assists, and Van Dijk with the most passes, just over 2,000. So, like I say, they are well up there. So it's going to be a daunting task. And obviously, clean sheets, just so, again, we go back to the goalkeeper. Martin Dubravka's in the top 10, not Nick Pope.
No, look at that.
I'd be so surprised if we keep a clean sheet. Like,
I mean, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
And by the way, people don't forget, last season at Anfield, Dubravka made it to where they didn't score enough goals because they were peppering us, man.
He made about 10,
I mean,
of which 6 were world-class saves.
and by the way, it was a 4-2. I think they won. That last goal shouldn't have counted. It was a
Should
weak
never have
ass penalty that Jota literally dove. Literally,
He-
he remembered
he
the
fell over,
dive.
mate.
He
Yeah,
he kept running
ran
and he said,
past
"Oh,
and then
never mind, I
dropped.
gotta fall."
Yeah.
So
I'm
weak-
sure
weak
somebody
pass.
just touched me. I'm gonna go down.
So, anyways, but
Shocker.
we will see tomorrow. Don't forget. Well, actually, the guys got a show at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. UK about it's a message because this is a free channel. Freedom of speech reigns in this channel. No matter how many times they're wrong, freedom of speech reigns. So we had a debate on about kind of a bedwetter type debate the other day. Still right, but tomorrow they're gonna have a show about the whingers, about the bedwetters, about the why Eddie Howe has been doing miracles. So watch that one, 2 p.m. UK, and how Eddie Howe made Ballon d'Ors. Really, he's a Ballon d'Or factory. So we check it out tomorrow. You got the likes of who did we transform? Joe Linton. That's one. I got to give you that. Joe Linton.
Murphy.
Murphy,
There's
Fabian Schär,
there's far too many, mate.
no
man.
money to mention.
Yeah, but Murphy, he didn't make him a great player. I think he's made him fit into the system. But if Murphy goes to Liverpool,
If you look how Murphy was before, he has transformed him compared to what he was.
Gordon,
you can have
Gordon's a lot better player than he was when he first came.
Gordon, much better player than what he was. And
Yeah.
fitter.
Yeah.
So check it out tomorrow, 2 p.m. And of course, later on tonight, or that night, tomorrow night, 1 hour before kickoff, the match against Liverpool at Anfield. We will see you on that.
Oh, by the way, if Ronald Turnbull's in, we need your score still. Ronald Turnbull, George Eaton, Beard. I saw Beard in, didn't I?
Longstaff. He made him better.
Beard he did make Longstaff better, yeah, absolutely he did.
I know. Atletico Madrid, one of them.
And Foxy. I haven't seen Foxy in, but
Foxy's
Anyways,
there.
take care, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye. How are the lads?
Cheers.
Lads,
catch you later.